Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video, and this video is probably going to be long because I've been toiling with this particular question over and over again, and each time I'm being asked by a TBC member, okay, it throws me off because I don't know what response to give to that person. Okay, and what is that question? The question I currently come across is: does TBC have value? Okay, does TBC have value? Okay, this is the question I've been toiling with since yesterday, and each time I've been asked that question, I tend to ask myself this question: what actually makes money valuable? Okay, so I had to go to Google, and if you read this part, let's leave the inflation part. Let's leave the inflation part and look at this. Okay, this part says, to summarize, money has value because people believe they will be able to exchange this money for goods and services in the future. So, meaning that if I pay somebody naira or dollars, the person knows that he or she can be able to exchange it for goods and services in the future. So that in summary, okay, does it mean that TBC has value? Let's look at the structure of TBC, for example. Number one, you have a coin, okay. It's called a cryptocurrency, but it has no blockchain. Okay, from my findings, it has no blockchain because blockchain, okay, means that the data or the flow of transactions is visible. Because what is blockchain? Blockchain is more like a ledger, which means that every single transaction that is being done is recorded somewhere that it cannot be altered by anybody. I get what I'm saying? That it cannot be altered by anybody. But I'm going to do a different video to talk about, discuss about certain terms like exchange, discuss about certain terms like blockchain. Okay. So in this case, TBC to me has no blockchain because there is no blockchain explorer. Okay, there's no blockchain explorer. The TBC has been saying he will give us a blockchain explorer, but we are yet to see that. There was one before in TBC 004, but it wasn't up to standard in terms of what a blockchain really is. Okay, let's look at TBC from the angle of exchange. What I mean by exchange, I don't mean going to an exchange and exchanging it. I'm talking about transaction, being able to do transaction or to send it to somebody. Okay, so in terms of being able to send it to people, you can't send TBC to people. So in that era, it can be transferred from one person to the other. Okay, it can be transferred from one person to the other. So right now you can only do that on a peer-to-peer basis. Okay, then we'll look at being spendable. Okay, then we'll look at being spendable. Number one, despite the fact that you can do peer-to-peer, people is not spendable alone. As a standalone currency is not spendable. Okay, because you cannot find any merchant anywhere, or maybe if you find maybe one or two who accepts 100% TBC or accept only TBC for payment. So it's always 10% to maybe 50%. And most times, no merchants bloat figures, okay, or sell substandard, okay, to be able to meet up. So, as a monetary term, okay, to me, TBC doesn't have much value. I'll just put it this way. This is my own opinion. It doesn't have much value because as a standalone coin, it can barely do much. I get what I'm saying. It can barely do much. Okay, and we live in a system whereby we live in a world that already has a system, and the reason why Bitcoin, Ethereum, TST are successful is because you can exchange it or spend it 100% and get same value that is what. Okay. Now let's also look at some of these because I did my research. Okay. So and I also come across this article that says I asked, okay, what gives paper money value? Paper money is issued by governments around the world and is used by people to store value and purchase goods that they need for their everyday lives. Now, TBC cannot do this at the moment. So that's why I said it does not have much value. Okay? Paper money has value because a large number of people agree to its value, so it becomes useful as a bartering tool. So when you say a large number of people use this tool, agree on the paper money, okay, which is government money or maybe your dollar, your naira, they agree on it because it's backed by the government. Okay? And every supply chain, okay, from raw materials all the way up to finished product accepted as a means of payment. Okay? So for TBC to be able to achieve this, TBC has to have its own country or its own utopia, whereby it has its own government that exists and its own central bank that regulates the economy of TBC. And you know, currently in the world we live in, that is not obtainable. Okay? Even Virgin, the owner of Virgin, that has its own island, also spends fiat currency or government currency in his island. He doesn't have his own country, his own currency. Okay, because it's not a country and it's not a sovereign body. And the island he's staying in is under the government of a sovereign government or under the leadership of a sovereign government. Now, let's also look at how does money get its value. The value of money is determined by the demand for it, just like value of goods and services. There are three ways to measure the value of the dollar. They take into account the supply and demand, then they factor in their expectation of the future. So, on a daily basis, you can be able to predict the demand for TBC, and the demand is zero. Okay? Because the demand that we think we are seeing now, we are seeing is a false demand created by some of these, like the bounty, like the not bounties per se, but like the huge bonuses, like the 100 TBC bonus. Okay? Like the 100 TBC bonus. Okay? Alright? So to me is zero demand. Okay, the only time people actually have demand for TBC is when there is a bonus, which means they're just paying admin fee. It's not like they are buying it per se. It's being distributed free. So that is not even demand in the first place. Okay? That is not demand in the first place. Then you have the supply side. There is an oversupply of TBC in the market. Okay? Now, whether you like it or not, there is a market. Okay? When people hold something, okay, when people hold something that they see the value, it has already created a market. The question is the market complete? Where there is a buyer and there is a seller. And in such case, in the current, right now, we have an oversupply, and because there is no market, which is an exchange, because there is no exchange where people can go and place their sell order and somebody else will buy it from them, people are susceptible to be scammed. Because even yesterday I got 2 reports of people who got scammed when they are trying to sell their TBC. One sent 5 kringles, the other sent 400 kringles. Okay? One sent 5 kringles, the other sent 400 kringles, and they did not, let me repeat, did not receive value for the kringles because were not paid. So a market has to be created. Yes, there are people who hold this, okay, who hold this coin. I myself inclusive, okay, I have $4 billion worth of it. But when you look at from a real market perspective, you find out, okay, that there is a need for a market so that you can be able to protect those who have this coin. Otherwise, the term scam will always be associated with TBC. Now, let's look at some of the things that is behind the cryptocurrency value. Number one in the rank of things is the utility of the coin. Bitcoin can be used as a means of payment. Ethereum can be used as a means of payment. TST can be used as a means of payment. Why? Because it has a market that is backing it. Okay? Bitcoin has several exchanges where people can go there and exchange it for fiat. Except from, let's remove peer-to-peer. Because in peer-to-peer, there is no trust. But there is trust when you have a platform where you can sell it. Okay? So TST also has a platform where you can sell it and you can get another cryptocurrency. And soon we'll be having a fiat exchange, which I'm working on. Okay? Whereby you can exchange it for cash. Alright? So, and also you can use it to purchase goods and services. So in the case of Ethereum, their service is that they allow you build businesses on top of their platform, smart contracts. And those smart contracts need Ether. In the case of TST, we have businesses that you can participate in, and you're going to need TST to be able to pay for goods and services. Okay? Then let's look at another angle, which is scarcity. Bitcoin is enjoying the attention it's getting because it has only 21 million coins in circulation. And even Ethereum, which has an infinite supply of Ethereum, because it has no total supply, only has about 100 and something million coins in circulation. Okay, TST has 100 billion coins total in existence and about 1 billion plus in circulation. Okay? So the scarcity is also a way that encourages people to be able to buy the coin. Okay? But in the case of TBC, there is an oversupply. Well, because it's based on the abundance method, which is making things to be in abundance, creating billionaires on paper, but in reality, those billions are worth nothing at the moment. They also look at perceived value of the project. Now, one of the things you have to understand is when you are building something that is a cryptocurrency, okay, the perceived value is very important. And perceived value has to do with people's thoughts about the project. Now, TBC might have a perceived value in terms of, it's going to help eradicate poverty. But at the moment, it's not doing so because people are required to be paying fees every month, and that fee is what is being used to maintain the platform and some other things. So it's more like you're paying tax for the infrastructure. You're paying tax to a TBC government that uses it to build the infrastructure that you're enjoying. But in terms of eradicating poverty, I'm yet to see how it's going to do that, okay, unless it has a complete system of its own, which starts from, supply, which means that there is a complete supply chain from raw materials of goods to finished products. So in terms of perceived value, it probably has that, but when you look at the reality of things, the perceived value is not what it really is. So there's plenty of room for development if TBC is to become something in the future. And right now, as a merchant, the demand of those who have TBC are not about spending it. It's not about using it to buy goods and services. Their demand is that they want fiat currency. And TBC cannot offer them what they are requesting. So I'll end this video here. I would like people to share their opinion in the comment section. This is my own opinion, looking at things from the economic standpoint and looking at what the future holds in terms of the direction it's going. Yes, you can recruit 50 million merchants, but 50 million merchants, recruiting them is one thing. Having a fallback for those merchants is another thing, because if a merchant sells an item, if I sell a loaf of bread for TBC, it means that I have to have a raw material market where I can go and buy buy the raw materials with TBC so that I can be able to produce that loaf of bread again. I get what I'm saying. So if I sell computer accessories and I accept TBC as payment, I have to go and pay my supplier with TBC. That is when, or I can convert it to fiat currency easily, or expendable currency easily, so that I can be able to pay my supplier. Right now, you can't do that with TBC. So at this moment, TBC only has a perceived value, which in reality is which in reality shows that it does not it does not have, pardon my grammar, it does not have much value. Okay, so guys, this is my opinion after doing a series of research on this particular topic. So anyone can say anything different, but let's make it an intelligent discussion rather than trying to insult me. Okay. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Till I see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching and have a blessed day.